If you're just joining us, welcome on board. You're watching Morning at NTV. The hashtag on Twitter is Morning at NTV, and my handle is at Chris Higenyi. We have a lot that we are going to be discussing right now in taking note of the leadership in the community of Ugandans living in the United States, or North America, to be more holistic. The UNAA, the organization or body that brings together Ugandans living in North America, is preparing for elections for the next set of leaders as the new term of the current leadership comes to an end. Each term lasts 4 years. 2 years? No, there's a bit of confusion there, but it seems I'm the one that's not picking it right. But I have a guest in the studio who will be, of course, sharing with us whether these terms are actually adhere to, like most terms should be, or anybody at any one time can twitch. Patrick Ongwang is an aspirant and is joining us in the studio this morning. A very good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Chris. Again, thank you for hosting me.
On about twitching, doing things so that a term can either be made longer or bring in a lot more benefit. I hope the politics doesn't go beyond that. It stays to doing your thing for the years that you have been given the mandate, and then leaving it to another Ugandan in North America to take on the mantle. Is it?
Yes, correct. That's true, Chris. Actually, the constitution of UNAA gives 2 years for to serve, and then you have to re-elect for another 2, and it's a total of 4 years total, and you can't run again for the same position.
No, I need to understand that. 4 years, but broken into 2? How?
4 years broken into 2.
How?
2 years at a time. So this year, for example, we have an election, 2023 to 2025.
Okay.
And then after 2025, we'll have another election, 2025 to 2027.
All right. So looking at this particular election, I think it's more like the community has a lot of issues to deal with, so much to bring together, given the fact that these are gentlemen and ladies away from home who have their own aspirations and objectives. What does the political machine offer the community?
Well, first of all, let me state that UNA is a non-political organization. As registered as 501c3 in the United States.
Okay.
So what we're offering is leadership. It's a platform that really gives us an opportunity to identify true leaders within the diaspora. So there's really no politics in it.
No. Well, when I say the political aspect of it, because at the end of the day, everything on this earth and universe is political. We are all political animals.
Correct.
And the mere fact that you are offering yourself to be elected for leadership.
Correct.
It is politics. And the only thing that differs from the rest of the politics that some of us are involved in is that this one is a little bit dirtier. Who is eligible to vote? And what has UNA done for the Ugandans abroad who are living the significant life?
Okay. Well, first of all, who's eligible to vote? It's any member that lives in the North American region, including Mexico and Canada, that pays their membership and shows up to the convention. They're eligible to vote. They have to have an address in the United States, in North America. We have associate members too, who are in Uganda, who also participate in the UNA process. They can attend the annual general meetings. They can make critical decisions on behalf of the organization, but they just can't vote. And also what UNA has really offered the diaspora is a networking opportunity and platform. We have seen a lot come out of the organization past 35 years. A lot of developmental things, like for example, teams coming together to begin to invest here in Uganda. They usually meet up at UNA. We have seen a lot of marriages come out of UNAA.
Oh, wow.
We have seen, yes, it's a great platform that really promotes us Ugandans in the diaspora.
Okay, yes. That's an interesting perspective, and I would love to dwell a little bit on it because it covers the social aspects.
Correct.
When Ugandans go abroad, and the possibility of intermarriage with other people is very apparent.
Yes.
Now that within UNAA, is it a strategic pillar that you encourage Ugandans who are living in North America to interact,
yes,
so that there is limited exposure to other? I don't know. I'm just trying to understand exactly how deep this goes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it is not anything that is specifically written, but it's what happens when people come together. Right? Yeah. So UNAA every year has a convention in a different location. Right? And so the UNAA membership is really huge. And people are working hard in diaspora, you know that, and sometimes they don't have the opportunity to network, to see each other, right? So UNAA gives that opportunity. It provides that opportunity for Ugandans across from California to Massachusetts, Texas, to come together this one weekend, Labor Day weekend, and connect. You meet your OBs, your OGs, and one thing leads to another, and you know, and before you realize it, that you have, you know, a beautiful Ugandan family growing. That really helps us also as well to stay together as a culture, as Ugandans being out there. Yes. So
what do you present to your constituents in terms of the kind of leadership that you want to offer?
Well, the type of leadership I bring to the table is a type of leadership that's based on purpose, principle, a true passion for people, and vision. I believe that when you discover your purpose, you discover your leadership. When you discover your leadership, you discover your social contribution. And that uniqueness that you have, that you offer to the people, is what determines your leadership style. So we're going to be running, my vision for UNAA is to restore hope and togetherness in the diaspora community. We've had a lot of challenges, as you may know. And we want to rely on the principles of unity, transparency, and adding value, with emphasis on service delivery, working with the leadership here to be able to bring solutions in the diaspora.
Okay. Many times when you put together stories of Ugandans living in North America or even the greater diaspora, it's a case of enormous challenges they have to overcome. Many of them have been reported to suffer a severe depression because after you've gone to a country away from your own, the dynamics are different. If you fail to adapt, then it becomes a little bit difficult, especially when it comes to who to talk to, who to go to for help. I do not know how far UNAA goes in ensuring that those that could be facing those challenges are brought on board as comfortably as possible. Bringing them on board is one thing, but the comfort with which they are brought on board also matters. I don't know how that is. Could you just take us through?
And that is very, very true. One thing, though, is the importance of why UNAA continues to be the #1 brand, or the #1 diaspora organization, 35 years strong, is because it provides that platform where we come together every weekend. Yes, there is a need for us to get more involved and get more in touch with the local communities. You see, the United States is really huge, right? And we are in different pockets. Okay, and so when we go to these different cities, we bring it closer to people to get engaged. But there's a lot more work that we need to do, and that's one of the things I'm proposing in my manifesto. Is one is a community investment plan, you know, that will allow us to continue to aim at something together, to work together, and also. Most of the depression comes in from financial Most of it is really stemmed into financial, because we go there to try and make a living, and then we reach there and realize that the bills and the challenges are enormous. So what I have, some of the solutions I'm bringing in place is that we continue not to only contribute to the American economy, but to be able to contribute to the Ugandan economy. You see, when you're working towards something, you always stay engaged, and you always stay positive.
And that's why I want you to give a little bit more flesh.
Yes.
Remittances are very significant when it comes to the amount of revenue that the country registers. But the mode and vehicle for investments by most of the people living abroad are too littered, you know?
Correct.
There isn't any structured thing you can look at, so much so that some people come back to emptiness.
Correct.
Where they do not see where their money went.
Correct.
They don't know how it was utilized.
Correct.
And it's a bit of a problem. Does that get covered within your manifesto?
Yeah, actually that's very interesting that you say that. I just had a meeting recently with one of the nation's economists, Dr. Patrick Nalere, and we're discussing this issue. And one of the proposals we have is, for example, yes, the diaspora contributes, I think it was about 1.3 million annually. I think it's now the #1 contributor.
Yeah, quite significant.
Yeah, significant.
After tourism.
Correct. So there's a need for us to harness that, to bring it, how can we become more intentional and direct those funds, you know, as one day. So one of the things I'm proposing is a money transfer application, because we're in a generation where we need to be able to leverage on the technology.
That's right.
And which we have the human capital of as Ugandans in the diaspora. So one of the suggestions that we're working on with Dr. Patrick Nalere is to develop a money transfer platform that gives Ugandans the opportunity to, of course, to send money. We have some of those, but this is going to be specifically Ugandan in direction of I love Uganda, and the fees that we collect from this we can use directly to develop, to direct towards the development of hospitals here, because most of the applications that are on the market right now are not Ugandan owned. And that's a problem. That means most of the finances are going outside our economy. What we want to do is bring those finances into our economy so that we can promote and be competitive in the market.
But your space within which you'll be acting is abroad, not in Uganda. It still means that most of the money shall again be repatriated. Do you intend to set up a hub here in the country?
As well, yes. We can, we'll set up one in the US and one here. So we can, you know, work together. The technical guys, we met up with a development, a software development guy who is laying it out for us.
All right, you're seeking to replace a set of leaders with your team who have done a tremendous job in ensuring togetherness, but also pushing the core purposes of UNAA. What is your take on their legacy?
Well, it's important that we acknowledge the efforts of those that have come before us. But it's also, I think we still have a lot of opportunities that have been left, that we still need to fill the gaps. In the past 2 years, the past 4 years, we've seen a lot of separation. We've seen a lot of groups, different groups be formed in the diaspora, which is also reflective of the type of leadership that is in play. So as much as they have tried, I think we still have an opportunity to do better and to foster unity within the diaspora community.
Mr. Ongwang, I would be remiss if I do not ask the questions that an average Ugandan, especially those that are youthful and are involved in becoming better within an economy that is struggling. The opportunities abroad, especially within North America. Canada is very, it's much propped and sold to Ugandan youth to go and work. But there's a lot of misinformation, sometimes on the how and the where opportunities are, which particular fields are, very marketable. We have tech and then the hospitality industry, and perhaps people could even go and get to apply for banking jobs.
Correct.
But where are the real opportunities that an average Ugandan can look at and say, if I am to go to Canada, if I'm go to the United States, if I want this particular opportunity, then this is the state or this is the city that has all those opportunities. Just talk to them.
Okay, well, first of all, Canada has a population issue.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't have the human capital that the United States has. And so they invest a lot in bringing in immigrants to help run that economy. That's why they're a little bit more organized and a little bit more out there actively pursuing.
That's right.
Now, as far as the United States is concerned, it's a diverse economy. And one of the areas that you can look at is the medical field. Okay, the medical field is, it's a field that will go on forever. And the United States doesn't have enough nurses. I've known programs here in Uganda, in the U.S., some people that are working to recruit nurses from Uganda to the U.S. So areas to look at, medical field is a good one, and also tech with the opportunity to work remotely. It's also another area that we can that you can look at. Tech and medicine. Those are two very two areas that give us the opportunity. Yes.
Okay, I think that was very good, because we continue to hear stories of people being told you need 10 million Uganda shillings, come to Canada, you can do this and this, and then well, the disappointments come on when people actually find that they are not the jobs that they were told. But thank you for that particular clarification. Let me return to the gist of the discussion, the elections of which you are seeking office. What are the preparations right now? At what stage are we? When are the elections being held? Who is going to vote and how? Who is eligible? But have the issues been addressed on those that were disenfranchised the last time around?
Yes. So the election is meant to happen. It happens at the annual convention.
Annual convention, yep.
Always, every 2 years. So the election is going to happen September 1st to September 4th in Dallas, Texas. And this one has been a little bit different. It started off a lot earlier.
Okay.
Yeah. Our race started off a lot earlier because for once you have two candidates from the same region. We're both based in Dallas, Texas. And that has never happened before in the history of UNAA. Usually it's a candidate from one area that, versus a candidate from another area.
What informed the change of rules? Or
well, it's an interest.
Interest, sir?
Yeah, it's an interest. So we have, Dallas has been a great community in developing leaders, over the years. We've had Brian Kwesiga, we've had Mandy Atigo, we've had so many leaders come out of there. We have a program there that we have worked hard on over the years that develops a lot of leaders. So there's going to be competition.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
I don't know. Sports, how significant is that?
Yes.
A lot of talent in the United States. The Boston Marathon, we have a lot of Ugandans in Boston.
Yes.
But when the marathons are going on, we again have to take our very own Chiptegays. When you guys go to the United States, you forget about sports. Can't that be part of the leadership agenda?
It is part of my manifesto. Actually, in 2019, I started up as Director of Development for UNAA. I set up a UNAA soccer tournament. Okay. And we play this tournament during the convention. And this is one of the things that I'll be bringing to the table to make sure that we can begin to expand it, which will allow us to engage within the communities, right? So we are able to play the tournament year round, okay, and play the finals at the actual convention. We can add other sports in there, like netball, like basketball, So I think that will allow UNAA itself to engage within our communities, but also not only do sports, but also do other businesses. Right?
The reason I was asking is because sports has the ability to galvanize national conscience.
Correct.
And it's a very convenient vehicle. Recently, we had our very own basketballer, appearing at the final of the NCCA.
Yes.
Unfortunately, his team didn't win,
Yes.
but that was significant enough. So if you have as many Ugandans living in North America
Yes.
playing
Yes.
sports at professional level, then the national teams down here have
Correct.
an opportunity to pick people that can come, and you never know, we could be able to contend for the World Cup.
And Chris, also my own story stems up from basketball. I was a professional basketball player for the Falcons back, and that's how I managed to make the team to the United States in 2000.
Who are your teammates in Falcon? Should have been 1990s?
Stephen Omoyni.
Stephen Omoyni.
Yeah.
He's been around for
Yeah, we have Oberu.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's a generation 2000.
Yeah, 2000. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. The reason I'm paying a little bit more attention to that is because many times when you are seeking something that galvanizes a nation,
yes,
sports is very important.
Correct.
So leadership, not only you, but all those that are seeking leadership should be able to put a lot more attention to it. Your closing remarks as we enter the final bend of this discussion?
Yes, well, first of all, I want to thank you for hosting me this morning.
You're welcome.
It's a privilege and an honor. And I want to speak to the diaspora community that make sure you pay your membership, make sure you register for UNAA, and show up in Dallas. And let's together begin to build a UNAA that we can all be proud of. Again, my name is Patrick Ongwang, your candidate for president of the Ugandan North American Association, 2023 to 2025. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Patrick Ongwang, and of course for the perspective, but most importantly, some of the insights into the way things are being handled or run among Ugandans in North America. That will do it for that discussion. But before we end the show, let me just go into our final ritual. Fridays are pretty much lighthearted, and I'd like to send out birthday greetings to Jason Elisha, who has turned 5 years. Birthday wishes from Grace Nakajugo, who is Mummy, Jaja Fred Semazi, Kwagala Martha, and Uncle Sebachije Dan. Uncle Sebachije Dan is one of us here, and of course sending out those greetings for a birthday and a good and prosperous life for the youngster there. That will do it on behalf of my colleague Priscilla Regina Naloga, and indeed the entire team that ensures that work behind the scenes is smooth Monday to Friday. It's a pleasure having your company. Have yourselves a lovely day, and for those that are going to be commiserating with, of course, the family of the late Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, that is Keith Mahakanizi. Of course, we do pray for the grace of God and that you'll be comforted in this time of grief. Goodbye.